Something special should be there, right? So for that, the way they will ask questions completely different, experienced people. So that's what here and there I'm getting multiple solutions every time I'm giving. Today I will show you one more option. Some people asking in interview this question. Whatever the entries I'm keeping in the my.cnf. Is there any other alternative without mentioning in my.cnf? For example, skip grant tables is there, right? That one you are keeping in a MySQL my.cnf file. Without keeping that, they're actually straightforward to provide while starting services. Is there any option? Yes, we have option actually. Today, first I will discuss that one. 1 minute. Let me share my screen. I'm logging in. Today I'll wind up a bit early. Maybe 10 minutes like that. Someone. Yeah, let me share my screen. So last time, if you remember, I kept here, right? In the my.cnf, etc, my.cnf, whatever the things I want to add, I'm adding actually. For the same alternative is there. Same thing you can achieve by passing MySQL options to the this one while starting the services. We'll do one thing. And one more thing, let me jump to the MySQL. Okay, I kept the file here, right? Plus FNLA. I will do one thing. I will move that file for some time. My.cnf bkp. Okay. If I'm trying to log in, it will throw error, right? So I'll do one thing. Just a minute. What is the password? I will check. I know the password. Nagaraju #123, right? We'll do one thing. So I want to give skip grant tables. Anyone remember what exactly it is? If I enable skip grant tables, what will happen? Skip grant tables. If I enable, what is the benefit?
Login without password.
Any user without password, we can log in, but that is a very dangerous. Okay. So I will show you one thing. Systemctl status MySQL, right? MySQL D. So if you see, it is displaying, right? My service is running. We'll do one thing. I will stop the services. Stop services. Okay. Stop the service. This time I will start the services, but in a different manner I will start. Start command this one only, okay? But I will use one extra option. That option name is C. MySQL D OPTS, okay? You need to use set environment. Set environment, MySQL D ops, skip grant tables, okay? You can do like this. First you set it, later only you start it. See, set environment, MySQL D ops. Any parameter, okay? Any static parameter, you can do like this. Enter. If you enter, it will not work. Later, you start the services as well. Okay. Systemctl start MySQL D. Services started. Now check the status. Systemctl status MySQL D, right? It is clearly showing. -- skip grant tables option you started, right? It is clearly showing. Actually, we'll do one thing. So -MySQL. Let me log in with MySQL. I can able to log in, right? Without giving the password, I can able to log in. We'll do one thing. So exit. Let me stop the services. I want to unset it. Stop services, for example, if required. But that is the easiest option. This is also one alternative. Okay? Stop MySQL D. Now, how to unset it actually? First unset properly. Then only it will remove like this. Systemctl unset environment MySQL D ops. I don't want MySQL options. So now check the systemctl status actually. What happened? It is completely down, right? Let me start the services. Okay. Systemctl status MySQL D is running without grant tables, right? So -MySQL, just enter MySQL, it will throw error. Okay, perfect. Close skip grant tables is You can set via set environment command as well. Keep in mute, please. Yeah, okay, that is the option actually. So we'll do one more thing. After this, this is the way, right? For your information, whenever anyone observed this, or I don't know, whenever skip grant tables enabled, right? You cannot do if skip grant table. This is very important. Grant tables enabled, you cannot do anything. Okay, you cannot do any user related things. User related grants, creating user, resetting the password of user, nothing will work. Okay, other than your normal options, create table, this one will work. User related thing, any grants, any password reset, nothing will work. Okay, you can't do any user related things. Remember this point. Now, last class actually, during the logs, I left few things, right? 3 or 4 points. I left it actually. See, this one we covered already. Log slave updates. MySQL has one great feature. You can build a master, especially. Okay, that means whatever the transaction log generating in the master, right? Parallelly, those transactions will be generated in transaction logs. It will be generated there itself directly, not like a PostgreSQL copy and other databases copy. Other databases during replication, transaction log will be generated in master. It will be copied to the replica server copy. But in MySQL, if you enable log slave updates, it will not copy. Whatever the transaction performing in master, same transaction execution will complete in the standby, and in the standby, it will create a respective binary log for that as well. Okay. And one more thing, coming to bin logs only, we have one extra option, sync bin log. See, there is a parameter called sync bin log actually. It enables synchronization of the binary log to the disk before transactions are committed. This is safest setting, but can have a negative impact on performance due to increased number of disk writes actually. Okay. Normally what we will do, if transaction committed, then only PostgreSQL, if you see, if transaction committed, then only respective transaction will be copied to the disk, right? But here not like that. Your transactions are still not committed, like Oracle. Whether committed or uncommitted transaction, first it will write into the transaction log files actually. So that is the reason MySQL bin log, whenever you are enabling a sync bin log, you will find the committed transactions and uncommitted transactions. As it is writing all the transactions into the bin log first, what will happen? Number of entries to the disk will become more, right? If only committed transactions are writing, what will happen? Already rollback transactions, we don't have any work. We can reduce the count of transactions writing to the disk. Okay, this one way it is good. If I want to do the recovery, each and every transaction information I can find from the binary log information, whether it is committed or uncommitted. Each and every transaction coming to the database, I can able to find it. But bad thing is more performance impact is there. Second thing, sync bin log option is 0. It disables synchronization of the binary log to disk by MySQL server. Instead, the MySQL server relies on an operating system to flush the binary log to the disk from time to time, as it does for any other file actually. See, this setting provides best performance, but in the event of power failure or operating system crash, it is possible that server has committed transaction that has not been synchronized to the binary log. See, what is the benefit? This one, if it is one, each and every transaction will be in the disk actually. Okay. But if you are disabling, each and every transaction will not be in the disk, correct, right? So what happened? My transaction completed, the transaction in the buffer actually, so it should write to the disk. What happened? Suddenly some issue happened, crash happened actually. So crash happened, what will happen? as the transaction is not in the bin log, it should recover actually. So during the next startup, recovery will be there actually. Recovery will take some time. Sometimes what will happen? That is also not guaranteed. Recovery also not guaranteed. You should be ready for the some data loss like PostgreSQL asynchronous replication. No guarantee for all the transactions during the power failure or server down. Okay, that is up to you. If it is a critical system, to enable the sync bin log, let me show you the parameter. This one. MySQL. 1 minute. Services up and running, right? Grab MySQL. Yeah, services up and running, but this one, that parameter file my.cnf backup. My.cnf. Okay, I know need to do this one. Use MySQL. So variables. Next 2 days, don't miss anyone. Backup and restore I will cover. Maintenance activities also I will cover next 2 days. So variables like sync bin log, right? If you know the exact value, you can make it as C. Default value, what is that? 1, right? So it will be good actually for data safety. I need actually data safety only, okay? Little bit performance issue also okay, but I need this one, safety. So you can check whether it is a static parameter, dynamic parameter there actually, okay? Where in Google page, I given right MySQL system variables. You can check it whether it is a static parameter or dynamic parameter. Next one, I'll do one thing. So as we are handling multiple things, right? So we'll do one thing. We'll keep this one system variables page directly open. MySQL system variables. All the variables will be there. Whatever the parameter you want, you can sync. What is that option? Sync bin log, right? Sync underscore bin log. If it is not coming, you can this one actually directly search it. Okay. So now that is the option actually. And one more thing related to bin log only, one more entry is there. Whatever the concept is there, that is related to bin log. That one only I'm covering. Next, one more thing is there. In addition to this option, this is mandatory. Every MySQL instance would have this option. The default setting of this InnoDB flush log at transaction commit is required for full ACID compliance. Logs are returned and flushed to the disk at each transaction commit. With a setting of 0, logs are returned and flushed to the disk once per second. Transactions for which logs have not been flushed can be lost in a crash. See, very important thing actually. So every 1 second, if it is flushing, for example, one transaction committed, right? 100 transaction committed in 1 second. So what will happen, whether it is 100 transactions or 20 transactions, keep on, it will flushing actually, okay? It will flushing for every 1 second. But what will happen sometimes if crash happening, that entry not there in the disk actually, there might be data loss, right? For you, data loss, this one. So one time period. But as it is auto commit, what I can do, the default value 1 is there, right? If you are doing one transaction, update statement, immediately it will commit actually. It will commit. Commit means permanently saving, no rollback concept. Okay, no rollback. At the same time, if crashed also, once my transaction committed, if crashed also, no issue for me. The transaction is already in the disk layer. Whenever next server startup, automatic recovery will be there, no data loss. See, that point I will add it. No data loss. Data loss actually. ACID properties, ACID rules will be followed perfectly. Okay. Atomicity, this one. Atomicity, consistency, isolation, durability, all the things will be applied whenever InnoDB flush log at transaction commit 1. If it is 0, there is no guarantee. Every 1 second, it will do the flush. So you should be ready to lose the 1 hour, 1 second data actually. Okay. So the good thing with MySQL is very optimized. Now you no need to tune anything. Each and everything like RDS instance, if you take any RDS PostgreSQL or RDS MySQL, well optimized. Complete parameter, they already defined. If you want to do anything, right, it is not possible. If you are trying to do some tuning kind of thing, it will be go for a wrong phase. Whatever the default parameters they given, you keep that one only. Okay, you should not change the values, especially 200% is recommended. Already RDS given parameters, you should not change. In the same manner, MySQL 8 also, they targeted the RDS. They are giving already optimized instance. Okay, so that is the reason InnoDB flush log at every transaction commit value to the 1 actually. Okay, and one more thing. See, with a setting of 2, second setting I told, right, set 0. InnoDB flush log at transaction commit 0, right? So here, for example, logs are written after each transaction commit and flushed to the disk once per second. Whether it is 10 transactions or 20 transactions or every 1 second only it will do. The less than 1 second, it will not do the activity. In that case, something went wrong, the transaction related data will be lost actually. Okay, that's what. And one more thing, skip tables just now we done, right, with MySQL OPTS. One more important thing, most of the experienced people only aware of this concept, plugins. MySQL plugins concept. You all are PostgreSQL already trained, right? So you know that extensions concept. Extension means additional features, right? Additional features which are not part of the original software. PostgreSQL given option. I am giving this option, whether you will use or you will not use, up to you. Okay, they are saying like that. So for that, what I can do here, MySQL they given a plugins. I will give option, you will use or you will not use, up to you. See, MySQL server includes a component based infrastructure for extending server capabilities. A component provides a services that are available to the server and other components. Okay, one component may be dependent upon another component, like that. At the same time, it will give you extending features which is not part of the original software. Okay, anyone interested, you can go through this link. For now, I will show you what are the components by default available in the this one, our MySQL instance. We'll do one thing. You are in already MySQL database, right? Select database, so database. Anyone remember? Select database. I connected to MySQL, right? So now see, so tables. If you see this one, all the tables are there. One of the thing is component. Okay, component. You do this one. Select star from MySQL.component. First one actually component validate password plugin is there. Okay, what is this? Whether user entering correct password or not, it will check actually. Okay, by default, it's a mandatory thing. That is the reason MySQL created this one. Now I will give you one example. Lot of things are there, but I will give you one example. Okay, first, if you want to utilize any component, you need to install that component. That is main thing actually. The install component and uninstall component SQL statements enable the component loading and unloading. Okay, first see, install component loads components into the server. The components become active immediately. Okay, the loader service also register loaded components in the MySQL.component.system table, right? See this one, MySQL.component system table. For subsequent server restarts, the loader services loads any components listed in MySQL.component during the startup sequence. So simply if you create it, it will not reflect it. Whenever you are restarting, right, it will affect in the next restart actually. Okay, and one more thing. Yeah, this one actually, 1 minute. That one previous one I pasted here. For your information, uninstalled component deactivates the component. Whatever the component you have installed, right, it will uninstall. That means that feature will not affect. Okay, we'll do one thing. See, component to plugin both are same actually. So now I will show you the plugins. Select plugin name, plugin status, plugin type from information schema.plugin. See, if you see databases, each database for different purpose. Right now you connected, right? Some MySQL DB related details. If you connect to performance schema, performance related one. If you connect to information schema, basic SQL standards. Now see, if I see 45 plugins are there. Default MySQL pluggable kind of thing actually. MySQL, okay. All are by default it's created. By default already created actually. Okay, bin log. This is also plugin. MySQL native password also plugin. Your engines is there, right? InnoDB engine, MemoryDB engine. These all are also plugins actually. Okay. By default, these are not there for your information. Okay. By default, actually, which is the main one by default? MyISM, right? MyISM. Later, slowly, they have added these plugins for supporting InnoDB more effective. Okay. That's the reason all are appearing like a plugins only. We'll do one thing. What are the plugins already there? Okay, this is for system behavior. Now I'll show you one thing actually. For your information, one plugin I will create. Okay, where is the plugins? That one you check first. So variables like plugin directory. If you run this, it is displaying all the plugins in this directory. So whatever the things are there in this directory, the plugins only you can install it. Okay, all the plugins here actually. Okay, this one component validate password. Okay, some other things also there. Now I'll do one thing actually. One of the instance I will create actually one of the component. One is component validate, right? Another one validate password also. One thing is there actually. Okay, so we'll do one password related one. If you have interest, you can see other instance, other components as well. I'll show you one component. Okay, I connected to MySQL. So now I am going to do validate password. See, for your information, first I will create one user. Create user Rambabu. Let me check what are the users are there. Select user from MySQL.user. Some users are there. Create user Rajni @ okay. I want to allow Rajni from anywhere. Create user username identified by Sam's #123 or whatever it is. Okay, or else just ROM I am giving. So what it is saying? Your password does not satisfy the current policy actually. Just a minute. Why it is not satisfying? Let me show you. Cat cd etc cat my.cnf. Okay, my.cnf actually 1 minute. Any password related things we kept it. Okay, I'll do one thing. Validate password component is there, right? That component just we will uninstall it. Then we'll try. Okay, MySQL, use MySQL. Already, if you see one component is there, select star from MySQL dot components, right? Just so tables. I want to prove one thing. That's what. Just a minute. Select star from component. Okay, one component is there. Install component. Okay, component name I'm giving actually. Just a minute. Let me get the original command actually. Uninstall, not plugin one. Just a minute. Let's see. I'm doing this one. Uninstall component file, right? Already validated password component is there. Let me uninstall this one. Okay. So check the components. Select star from components, right? 0 components, right? I'll do one thing. Now I'll create the Rajni user. Create user with same password. Create user Rajni identified by Sam actually. Okay. Sam, what happened? Can someone tell me what is the difference before and after? Before, as the already component is there, right? That is the reason it is scolding. Follow the password regulations. Okay, see, it is saying follow the password regulations. Why they kept this one actually, okay, password valid component they already by default enabling. So that is the reason it is not allowing. What I have done, I have uninstalled it actually. If I have uninstalled, it is taking whatever the password you are giving, it is taking care. Okay, I'll do one thing. I will install it again. Install component validate password. Okay, I installed it. Let me check any components are there. Components are there. I'll do one thing. This time I will create a separate user actually. Rajni 123 or else I will create actually Krishna. Okay, Krishna. Password does not satisfy the currently policy requirement. So this one is good or bad. Always try to keep it a password validation component actually. Okay, you no need to give user level setting. If you remember earlier we given right, alter user username, password, maximum reuse, password minimum length, maximum length, this kind of things we done right earlier. If you enable this one, you no need to do anything. If you enable this plugin, okay. At the same time, same like this component, we have one validate password plugin. That one also will behave like that only. If you want to install the plugin, you just install it. If you want to uninstall, you can uninstall it actually. See, this one by default, that plugin is there or not, we'll see. The plugin is in information schema one, that plugin not there. Okay, so you can enable the plugin like this. Install plugin, just a minute. Wait a minute. See, install plugin, validate password. So name, validate password, SO name actually. So that plugin SO name. Each and every plugin SOs are there. Let me show you that SO names. Already I shown you right this directory. Let me scroll up, see. Each and every plugin SO is there. Okay, SO name. Whatever the plugins here we available, that plugin only you can use it. See, install plugin, plugin name. So name, SO name, validate password, SSO. Okay. Now you check whether plugin is there or not. So both will be acting as the same actually. Components and plugins. Earlier plugins is there. Now deprecated components came actually. Okay, up to you. Whether you will install the plugin or you will use the, you will install the component, up to you. Remember this point. Lot of components are there. Lot of components, especially in MySQL, we are using a audit log component. That is only for supporting for audit log plugin. Audit log supporting for enterprise DB. Supporting for enterprise DB. Okay, enterprise DB. Do one thing. Whenever enterprise MySQL, this one. Whenever you have a time, you do one thing. Go to the Google and each and every plugin. That is the best practice. Blindly don't depend upon whatever I'm saying, right? I can give few details only. You do one thing, go to the this one actually Google page. What version token will do, what semi-sync source will do, what rewriter will do, this kind of MySQL clone. Okay, clone kind of thing. Each and every component, then only you will become a very strong. Each and everything, what exactly it will do. Already these plugins are there, lot of plugins are there. So still you can log in and check if which plugin doing which work. Okay, we know. For example, if you see this one actually, InnoDB is there, InnoDB engine. By default, InnoDB engine is it's a plugin. Everyone aware of that one actually. Like that actually, if each this one, each plugin purpose you can check. Okay. Next one, what I will do. Next
For
concept.
this restart is not required, no?
This one plugin restart not required. Not all. Few things required restart. Okay. Especially. So that's what. If you go to the website link, right? I given link, right? They clearly mentioned they have around external one, 15 to 20 external one is there, other than default one. See, these are the default plugins. Already it's came up with the system. Whatever you are doing right now, whatever we are doing, that is already came due to plugins only. Let me print that one. Already I printed, right? Select plugin name. Select plugin name. See. From which database? Information schema, right? Information underscore schema dot plugins actually. Okay, so is already whatever the plugins is there, due to this only we are achieving MySM concept is there. InnoDB concept is there. All engines are plugins only. Okay. Other than this, you have, right? That one only external. So some of the extensions are no need restart. Some of the extensions requires restart. They mentioned clearly. I also mentioned that point, right? Few things will affect on the fly. Few things, whenever you are restarting next time, right? It will affect. I mentioned somewhere, if you remember, in the top page I mentioned actually. Okay. So sometimes actually, this one, where it is server restarts actually. Subsequent server restart. Okay. Sometimes automatically it will reflect. Not sometimes. Some plugins. Okay. Yeah. If I find the list, I will share definitely in WhatsApp. Which requires restart, which not requires restart, I will share if I find it. Okay. Yeah. And one more thing. This one also there actually. See, to load it, few things, if you want to load it, it required you need to add that entry in the this one. Where it is my.cnf. You need to add the what SO file you are going to use. Okay. All the time straightforward, it will not work actually. Sometimes it is unable to read the SO file. So for that, plugin load add which SO file. See, already we have SO files, right? SO file you are going to use, that SO file location you can mention in the this one. Okay, the plugin name in the my.cnf here. This one is there, right? For example, any outside one I am going to use. Check that SO file. That SO file you load it in a my.cnf file. Now I'm entering into the different concept. Table spaces in MySQL. So
Ram, I have one question. Like you are saying that it's a plugins. Okay,
Hmm.
is that something related to the patching, minor patching? So what we applied in our
no.
Mm.
This is not
So
related to patching.
okay.
PostgreSQL,
No.
if you remember, I created one extension, PG underscore stat underscore statements. I created one more extension, DB link.
Mhm.
I created one more extension, actually, this one, replication slots. So what it means actually, it is not part of the main software. Okay. My main software will give 100 features. So someone came and they built it their own, one extra feature, but that one will work if you plug in. If you add it, then only it will work. So that one just like an extension, not
The
part
plugins
of the
installation. Like if there is a separate installation will be there for this to
we will
install.
call this one as a adding extra feature. Okay, which is not part of default software. Plugins like extensions, for your information. Plugins means extension. Extension means feature which is not part of original software. Correct, right? Default software.
So this is developed by someone else, like
Yes.
not regular MySQL team has developed. Like,
but that is for PostgreSQL. Here MySQL, they built lot of things. No outsiders actually. Only Percona team built some plugins. Percona team. Like PostgreSQL, we have lot of people. Citus is there. Citus, Crunchy is there. This one, what is that? CyberArk. Sorry. Second quadrant. Second quadrant is there. And this one is there.
EDB.
EDB is there. EDB, they don't have that much strong developers. That's what they taken second quadrant.
The second quadrant.
They bought it, right? They bought it.
Yes.
One more company is there in Germany. Cybertech, not Cyber. Cybertech actually, that one. So these guys actually they will implement, but MySQL no one is there. Only Percona guy only there for MySQL.
So in real time also, like generally this Postgres software and MySQL software is dominated from the community only, or there is a separate
community
only,
any
right?
website, Citus, Cybertech, whatever it is, they're building plugin, right? If you see autofail or extension, you see, right? Normally to install PostgreSQL, 4 files required. That 4 is from open source. One extra file they are adding. That's it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So this auto failure belongs to which organization? Any idea?
This one
PDR.
Citus, right? I
Citus.
mentioned already in the this one notes notepad.
Okay.
Don't bring the PostgreSQL here. I will
Okay.
confuse.
Okay.
Okay, now table spaces. We know that by default our data sitting in a one place, right? Our data. So coming to MySQL, where is your data sitting by default? Which location it is sitting?
What?
Data dictionaries.
Whatever the tables you are creating, right? Tables or indexes that the data storing under where actually by default data directory, right? Under
Yes.
data directory. Whether you are mentioning or not mentioning, it is not taking, not bother. Under data directory, all the data files will be created, right? All the data files will be created. So how it is possible actually? All the data files, why it is going to that location? In our case, what is the data directory? This one. You can find it from here also, right? So variables like data, this one. If you see data directory, right? Data directory varlib MySQL. Go to that folder, cd varlib MySQL ls-ltr. Okay. In this, I told already, other than bin logs, you have few files. Okay. ls-ltr star.ibd. Okay. Star.ibd. MySQL.ibd. One file is there actually, one data file. Second thing, ibd star. ibd star, if you see, ibd data one is there. One more thing is there, ib dot star, ib slash star actually. If you see, mainly InnoDB only, right? For MySQL. So if you observe actually, InnoDB log files, two log files, right? And read log files, InnoDB read log files, IB log file and log file 0. And main data, IB data. And for buffer pool, one data file. For temp, this one. All the temp files, one file actually. You think like these all are the files actually, okay? By default, all these files, see here. I will mention this point for your information. By default, all the files under sitting under this. By default, all the data files sitting under data directory. So thing is actually data directory, okay. Who is defining actually? How come it will come to know I need to sit there? For that, who behind this strategy, who is there? I covered this concept. Behind this strategy, table spaces will play key role, right? Table spaces will play key role. So by default, actually, all the objects created with default table space, okay? Default table space. So we will call that one as a system table space, okay? Table space. What is table space? Table space is a logical name, right? Logical name, which points to
Physical data files.
Physical location. Perfect. Physical location or physical file, right? Location or file actually. So now do one thing. Lot of benefits are there already. We discussed this one. This is to overcome the space issues, correct, right? At the same time, to get the better performance. Next thing, for critical data, to achieve security, right? Security by keeping in a separate mount point, right? Mount point, okay? These are the benefits of table spaces actually. Everywhere. Not only MySQL or PostgreSQL, everywhere. See, normally a system table space is the storage area for the InnoDB data directory. Okay, MyISM by default it will create on the data directory only, but especially system table space is the storage area for the InnoDB data directory, not only that one, the double writer buffer I told earlier, that one also stored there only. At the same time, the change buffers actually, read logs, the change buffer and undo logs also stored under the default table space only. At the same time, it will contain table data, index data, okay? Even though you are creating, see, only it will go to different location when, if you create file per table option, then only it will go to the different location, or else by default it will be in which location? Data directory location, right? That one. So for your information, if you see by default IB data is the data file, but at the same time the system table space can have one or more data files, okay? And for your information, by default, a single system table space data file named that IB data one, right? It is created in the data directory. Next one, actually, one more important thing, the size and the number of system table space data file is defined by the InnoDB data file path, startup path. Okay, see, number of files required, and up to what level it can increase, and which location the file should be in which location. That one also, all the three, file path, number of files, size of files, everything you can define during the startup. Okay, and one more thing, increasing the size of the, for example, default, what is the size of this one? Any idea?
Depends upon size of the OS pages, right?
No. It is table size, right? Table size. Default size, if you check, actually, this is the option, InnoDB file path. For your information, MySQL, that is what level it can grow, I am saying, okay? So variables like this one, InnoDB file path, right? So what is that one? Default file, InnoDB data one, 12 MB. One more extra thing added. What is that? Auto extended. Whenever space completing, right? By default, it will increase actually 8 MB every time. See, whenever, let me add this one for your information. So by default, my data file size is, my InnoDB size is 12 MB. The thing is, until I have the free space in the varlib MySQL mount point. This is IB data default in the data directory, right? Until I have the free space in the data directory, every time it will increase the 8 MB. Okay, 8 MB it will increase. And one more thing, you can define the value. Up to what level you can extend. See, so variables like this one. Okay, for example, if you see this one, actually, auto extend increment actually. Okay, this one until 1 minute. 1 minute for your information. Just a minute. I need an exact value. That means dimension I want. Wait a minute. So see this one, actually, when the auto extend attribute is specified, the data file automatically increases in a size by 64 MB, increments as it is a space required actually. Okay, I told clearly for you, 8 completely, this one actually, what it is well optimized. Whenever 12 MB reaching, immediately by default how much it is going to increase. I mentioned until 5 actually, until 5 8 MB. Now 8 onwards they kept it actually 64 MB. Sorry, but you are saying something?
No, sorry, my apologies, my bad. Actually, I was talking with others.
Yeah, so see this one. Every time, whenever, even though you are keeping default 12 MB, this is a good chance only, but next time, whenever space required, automatically 64 MB, it will increase. Up to what level it is increase actually? Up to the, you have free space, until you have free space in the, your mount point actually, there is no control, okay? And one more thing actually, see, if you want to increase the system table space size by adding another data file, you can do like this. First you can stop the MySQL server. Okay, later Later, the last data file size is mentioned as a auto extendable. Okay, auto extendable you should not keep as it is. For example, see here auto extended, they kept it, right? Whenever you want to add one more data file, simply you do one thing. You can remove this. You can remove this entry. Okay, then you can add the file, whatever the file you want with the latest auto extension. You can add it. See, let me show you that one. Before that, you need to do one thing actually. Okay, you can identify list of tables with InnoDB engine. See here, by default, all the tables I told already, all the tables with InnoDB only, right? See, 37 tables, MySQL with InnoDB engine. I will remove the where condition. See, only 39 tables. That means 2 tables. What is 2 tables? 2 tables other than InnoDB. Correct? See, general log, slow query log. Which engine it's created? So create table, general log /G. It's create array. What happened? So create table. Ayyo. Why? Why it's not coming? Oh, got it. Anything spelling error I'm doing? So create table, right? So this one default created with which engine? CSV. And one more is there, error log, right? That one also maybe, yeah, slow log, slow query log. This one, slow log. Okay, these two created with the CSV engine. Other than that, everything is with InnoDB only, right? So you can find out list of tables which are using InnoDB engine. At the same time, actually, you can check the sizes, each and every table size. See, each and every table size, you can get it from here. Each and every database, each and every database. MySQL 13.15, remaining all are system tables, right? System databases. MySQL only more tables, it is 13 MB, size is there. For your information, if you need this one actually, see, each and every table size, okay? Each and every table size, it will display in MBs. I created one table, if you remember, department table I created, that is in a 11 MB actually, okay? And one more thing, if you need only for single table, you can take like this one. This is the query to find out the only single table size, okay? So 11 MB. Now I have a thought actually, I want to add one more data file. Every time I don't want to use InnoDB1, IB data 1, I want to use IB data 2. So variables like what is that? InnoDB underscore data, right? Data, check this variable, 2 variables will be there. One is your home data directory only, home directory. Data home directory, second one this path. IB data 1, 12 MB is there. We'll do one thing. Let me go to that location, CD. So IB data 1 is there, right? I will do one thing. I will create this time one more. VI, etc, I.cnf. Escape, shift Z. Whenever you have a plan to add one more extra data file, then we will add one extra data file. Anyone can tell me? Normally, which scenario you will add data file? Oracle people knows this one.
Is your question?
Whenever you will add extra data file to the table space.
Okay.
When you will add?
Whenever the table space is got filled up. So
that means in my case, what
in directory, if we are going for the directory system, direct file system, the directory will be getting full. Otherwise, the ASM disk group will be getting full. In that case, we need to add the
same
space.
Thing. Respective mount point getting filled 85%. Your client, your team saying, storage team saying, we cannot increase the size. If you want, I will give you one more mount point. Okay. They are saying, this is a physical disk. I cannot able to extend. If required, I will give you one more mount point. If they given one more mount point, what you will do? So create table space with that mount point.
We will add the data file.
From that mount point, correct?
Yeah.
So now I'll show you how I will add it. Very simple, I told already. So previous file is there, right? That one, you just, what is the previous file? Little bit scroll up, have the output, right? IB data. So keep it as it is, IB data 12 MB, okay? This one. But where you will keep it? Scroll up, which parameter it is? InnoDB data file path, right? So IBDB, from where it is taking? IB data one from the data date, right? So remove auto extend already I told, right? Remove and you can do simply add it. IB data to file, okay, with 50 MB auto extending feature. I'm adding this time, okay? If I'm okay with 12 also can do. 12 also you can do, okay? But if you need default more space, you can do like this. InnoDB data file path equal to add extra. Previous file don't remove, okay? It will corrupt. Previous file mandatory, you can add the extra one. Escape colon EQ, okay? What happened? It's read only permission, right? Escape colon Q not equal to exit vi etc i.cnf escape shift z escape I, okay, like this escape shift d. Just restart services. Okay, su-mysql, log into the MySQL, use MySQL. So variables InnoDB data, okay? Previous file is there, upcoming records will be go to the IB data, which is latestly added, right? That data file only my respective data will go actually, okay? This is the way I will do that. And one more thing, by default, for your information, InnoDB file per table, right? Each file, it will create a new, this one actually, new file, each file. For example, one InnoDB one, I have a 10 databases, 10 tables, 10 files will create with a separate this one actually directory, okay? And one more thing, default InnoDB log size, 50 MB. See this one, this is in bytes, select 1024 KBs, MBs, right? 50 MB. Each log file size is 50 MB. And one more thing, like a read log members in Oracle, each this one, read log will have numbers, right? So now can define actually InnoDB log files in group. One group, how many files is there? 2 files is there. What are the 2 files our side? Our side we have 2 files, right? What are the 2 files? IB log, varlib, MySQL, ls-ltr, IB underscore star, right? IB log file 1, IB log file 0. Every group, it will create a 2 log files actually, okay? Each file size is 50 MB by default. So how much length we can increase actually? InnoDB log file size into InnoDB log files in group, it can be grow up to the 512 GB. Okay, you can define like a 512 GB. It will not increase more than that. Log files total size occupying by InnoDB log files actually. Okay, log files means read logs. It can grow up to not data files. See, read logs can grow up to not grow and increase up to 512 GB. Okay, 512 GB together. And one more thing, after setting the value, so you are seeing the latest one, right? So we'll do one thing, remaining things we will discuss tomorrow. Actually, I thought today I'll wind up early, but it's reached tomorrow. Few things actually. Just for example, see, InnoDB max dirty pages percentage is there. By default 90%. InnoDB max dirty pages percentage. InnoDB try to flush data from the buffer pool to the disk, right? Normally, so that percentage of dirty pages does not exceed the value. Specify as an integer. See, what will happen normally from the buffer actually, okay, data whatever the modified data, right? Modified data will be in the buffer. That one we will call it as a dirty buffer. So normally the dirty buffers will be flushed to the disk. That means writing data into the files actually. See this one. For example, heavy writes happening or heavy updates happening. So 1 minute, simple thing. Top one is the buffer. Top one is the buffer. For example, this one is the storage data files. Okay. This is a buffer. Buffer. Okay. InnoDB buffer actually. Here, modified data, right? Modified data means we will call it as a dirty buffers. Dirty buffers. Okay. Dirty buffers is there. Come down. Here your original data file is there. Data files. Normally, if my table is a very big table, update operation happening in the buffer, the bad thing is buffer size full 100%. What will happen? Buffer size full 100%, service is down. Full 100%, no, none of the transactions can perform their activity. Everything will be hung. One table consuming completely. So what will happen? Whenever it is reaching 70% or 80%, make it 70%. Okay. Default 90% they given, but don't wait until that time. Make 70%. Whenever even it is a big table or small table, you start do flushing. Okay, step by step, row by row. Do the flushing to the original data file. Don't wait until complete the complete operation. Okay. So that one, what is the option? InnoDB max that pages percentage actually. Okay. Default value 90. See this one. MySQL, use MySQL. Okay, this one. Okay, like this 90%. So if you want, you can set it to 70%. Better 70 is better actually. So this one actually, and one more thing, undo table spaces is there, right? I told already for keeping the undo data. If you are doing transactions in a transaction mode means between begin and end, right? Between begin and end, you are doing the transaction. That means whatever the transaction you are doing, direct it will not write to the disk. It will be in the undo. Why it will be in the undo? Any reason? If you are running any transaction like this, begin, insert statement, delete statement. If I am writing this one, will it directly write into the disk or it will be in the undo buffer, sir? Where it will be, the data? The
It will be in undo.
Undo, right? Why it will be in undo?
If any failure is there, it will be rolled back.
It will be rolled back from undo buffer. For example, by mistake, if everything writing into the disk, rollback is possible?
Not possible. Data may be lost.
Not possible. So undo table spaces we have separate. Storing the undo data, we have undo table spaces. Where is the default location for undo? Undo table space also default in a data directory only. See, dot slash means your data directory. See, ls-ltr undo. If you see undo also same, undo members, right? Else you can simply do same thing. Undo also 2 members, 1 and 2 is there. Okay, yeah, that's what. And one more thing, one more option is there. Default table space also you can use it. If you want, you can create the table space as well. For example, see, I'm doing this one, create table space. I will not use existing mount point. I will do one more thing. pwd mkdir not var lib, mkdir /var lib test tbs. Okay, test tbs. Why? With the root user, you create a test tbs. And one more thing we'll do, chone -r MySQL user MySQL group, right? Permission mandatory. So -MySQL. Okay, MySQL, use MySQL, create table space, right? Create table space, sample is up to you. Whatever you want to write, you write it. But see this one. This one, where is my location? Var lib test tbs. Okay, add data file I'm doing. Engine InnoDB. All the InnoDB things I'm creating with the InnoDB engine, right? So what it is saying? Add data file path does not have a proper file name. Oh, my bad. It'll ask you where lib test TBS, right? TBS touch something that we will do test TBS, or else I will do one thing, IB data 1, okay? IB data 1. So PWD MySQL, use MySQL. So same create tablespace one, you can use it. Mention the file name mandatory. There it is. IB data 1. Yeah, come here. IB data 1, okay. IB data 1 actually, just a minute. Extension mandate, right? IBD dot IBD. Data file extension IBD. MySQL, use MySQL. Okay. So try to create a table space. Dot IBD. Okay. Already existed actually. Hey, what is this? If file is there, it is throwing error. File not there means it is the add data file path already existed. 1 minute. PWD RMFNRF IBD. MySQL, use MySQL. It came in 8. If anyone trying in 5, will throw error. Okay. The data file location must be in a known directory. We'll do one thing, we'll see tomorrow. Okay. Tomorrow what I will do, I will create the table space. I will create a table normally without table space. Default table space. It will go to the your varlib MySQL. We will add the table space to another table. It will go to different location. Now it will be, we'll see tomorrow. For today, we'll wind up, already too late. Thank you. Tomorrow, 1 minute. Tomorrow, what time we will meet? Tomorrow, little bit early, we will meet. Don't wait until this time.
4:30, you said as mentioned in chat.
4:30 means for me,
Early.
6 or 7, for me 7. Okay, we'll discuss in the group. Post your possible times. Better, little bit will reduce. Thank you.
Thanks, Tom. Good night.
Thank you.